Hello viewers, welcome to Face, your favorite talk show on BINUSTV with me Alessandro as your host for today's episode for 1 hour. Honestly speaking, I am pretty excited about today's episode, and I know that most of you have also been looking forward to watching this episode. I think there are basically two reasons for this. The first one is because today's episode is quite interesting, which is about hometown, and the second reason is that one of our guests, not one of our guests actually, but the one and only guest comes from America. And hopefully by having her in this episode, we will know more about hometown, America, and her hometown. Without further ado, here she is, our one and only guest for today's episode, Tracy Mander. Hello, Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Tracy?
I'm good.
I think first of all, I think it's better for you to introduce yourself to the viewers, Tracy.
Hello, I'm Tracy. I am from Cal State San Marcos, and I live in San Diego, California, and I'm 23 years old.
And Tracy, and I think, and I quite believe that this is actually your first time to be on BINUSTV, right?
Yeah.
What are you feeling? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling nervous or what?
I'm excited, nervous, anything that you can put on, all of those things. I was not expecting it to be like this, so it's cool.
And how many sisters and brothers do you have, Tracy?
I just have one older brother.
And what does he do now?
He actually decided to take up my dad's profession of driving trucks long distance. So he goes across the country and moves people's furniture.
Is he married yet?
No, but
No.
hopefully soon.
Obviously, soon. Why then?
Him and his girlfriend have been dating for like 6 years.
Oh, 6 years. Yeah. And how many years is he older than you?
He is 4 years older than me.
Okay. Now, Tracy, what are your current activities, by the way?
Like my favorite activities that I do?
No, the things that you are doing now. I mean, the things that keep you busy.
Oh, okay. Well, here in Jakarta, I mean, I do a lot of travel, and I really like to explore everything that Indonesia has to offer. I mean, trying new foods, going for like 60 chilies in one plate. I tried that in Malang, which was crazy. And I mean, shopping and working out and just kind of enjoying daily life here in Indonesia, in Jakarta.
What about particular hobbies that you have?
My hobbies?
Swimming?
Yeah, I like
to swim. First of all, let me tell the audiences. I mean, they may be questioning how I could meet you, actually. So I was swimming in BINUS Square, and then I was like warming up, and then Tracy was approaching me, asking me some questions, and that's how we first met. So, what are your hobbies, by the way, Tracy?
So yeah, I like to swim. I really love surfing. That was my main reason for wanting to come to Indonesia, because I know they have world-class surfing here. And I like to go to the gym. I like to watch TV.
How many hours do you usually spend watching TVs?
Maybe like an hour, but not a day, maybe an hour a week or so. I don't watch too much TV.
About traveling, so you have ever been to Malang?
Yeah.
With whom?
I went with my iBuddy, Dita, and her friend Kiki, and then like 5 other people we met there in Malang who lived there.
What's the best thing you like in Malang?
That's hard. I went to Sempu Island and Bromo Mountain, so.
Could you please name the cities or maybe the place that you have ever been to in Indonesia? Because I do not remember them all.
All the places I've been to?
Yeah, in Indonesia, Malang.
Okay, I've been to Malang. I've been to. I went to Jogja. I went to Bali. I've been to. Where else? I'm going to Sumatra. I went to Pelabuhan Ratu. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but Simaja.
And among those places, which one of them do you like most?
Oh, and I went to Lombok, and I think Lombok was my favorite.
Because?
I got to stay in a village of only 800 people, fisherman village, and I really loved how quiet it was and the culture that was there. I mean, the people were just so
culture
friendly.
Is rich enough, I guess.
Yeah.
And before the show started, Tracy told me that she really wanted to go to Raja Ampat. What makes you really want to go to Raja Ampat?
Wait.
Is it Raja Ampat? No, Papua, I mean, sorry.
Oh, yeah, because it's beautiful. And I think it's really untouched. And like quiet, and not very many people I think get the chance to go there. So
I mean, how did you come to know that Papua is beautiful? Did somebody tell you, or did you find it yourself, or what?
I did research.
You did research before you were in Indonesia, or after you were in Indonesia?
After I came here, I did
Oh.
more research. I mean, I knew about Papua, but I didn't know as much as I do now.
So when do you plan to go to Papua then?
I think when I'm older and I
When
can
you're older.
have a lot of money and spend like a couple weeks
So
there.
the only problem is money, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's kind of
If
expensive.
everybody has much money, everybody will travel a lot, I
Yeah.
guess. Now, you come to Indonesia, right? What's your major, by the way, Tracy?
I'm a communication major.
Why did you take it? I mean, any particular reason?
I chose communications because it's very versatile. I can apply it to anything, and I think most jobs need communication in their jobs. So
So how long have you been practicing to communicate with people? Ever since you were a child, or what?
I've been communicating with people my whole life.
Oh, your whole life. I mean, at what age did you think of majoring communication? I mean, my major is English department, and I thought to take it when I was in when I was a student in my senior high school. What about you?
I didn't decide to start taking communications until I went into junior college. I originally wanted to do psychology and then nursing and then business. I was kind of all over the map, I guess.
Now what about the reason you come to Jakarta?
To surf, but not in Jakarta, obviously, but to be able to travel through Indonesia and explore all the beaches.
And how long will you stay in Jakarta, by the way?
I will be here for 6 months.
And why? I mean, why don't you want to expand until a year, probably?
Oh, because I'm actually a senior at my college, and I will be graduating this next semester. I just need to take one more course, and then I'm done. And I have to take it at my home university, unfortunately.
And what about Jakarta? I mean, you've been here like 5 months, and how much do you like it, by the way? Just be honest, no problem.
I do really
From
like
1 to 10.
Jakarta. On a scale of 1 to 10, though, I'd give
6?
I have a love-hate relationship. It's like that bratty child that you hate but you love at the same time. So I would give it like maybe a 7.
Oh, okay. Tell us some good points of Jakarta then.
The food.
The food. What food do you like most in Jakarta, by the way?
I like padang.
What else? I mean, besides food.
And I like how everything is just really convenient. It's if you want something, it's there.
What about the bad points? The traffic.
Traffic, yes.
Obviously.
Of course. I think everyone hates the traffic.
What else?
I don't like how I've sometimes get sick from eating the food because I'm not used to it. And I don't. Maybe I wish that there was no corruption.
Oh, corruption.
Yeah, I think that there could be more money and things spent.
Does corruption happen in your hometown, by the way?
Yeah, but not like this.
Who do you know it from? I mean, how come did you know that corruption really happens in Indonesia?
Well, since I've been here, I'm in journalism courses,
Ah,
and I have to study about like how the government's working since the elections are coming up, and so I've kind of been picking up on how a lot of the time money goes into the government and then isn't even given back to the community.
what about the communication in Indonesia, Tracy? Do you find it really hard to communicate with people, because actually English is not our first language, right? So do you find it difficult?
At first, yes, because I didn't know any Indonesian before I came here.
So how do you overcome the difficulties? Do you try to learn bahasa, or you try to use your body language, or what? Then
Combination of the both.
both.
Yeah, I use hand gestures, and I also have learned some Indonesian.
Okay, viewers, after this we will talk about Tracy's hometown. So don't get anywhere, stay tuned. Hello viewers, back with us on Face to Face, your favorite talk show on BINUSTV with me Alessandro and our guest for today's episode, Tracy Mender. For those of you who are just tuning in, let me tell you that our topic today is about hometown and we're about to talk about it. And Tracy, before we talk further about hometown, I want you to define about hometown. How do you define hometown, by the way?
A place that you can go to where, you feel at home and you kind of know everybody and it's comfortable.
And where exactly is your hometown, by the way?
My hometown is Encinitas, California, which is in San Diego in California, really close to the border of Mexico, about an hour away.
What is the environment like in your hometown?
Very relaxed.
Very relaxed. Try to compare the environment in your hometown with the one in Jakarta. Are they the same? Are they much different, or how?
They're very, very different.
In terms of?
This is a city.
Yeah.
And where I live, it's just kind of like a home. No cities, no big cities. There are, if you go an hour away from where I live, but this is just where people reside, and it's more of like a surfing paradise.
So we cannot really see many tall buildings in your hometown, you mean?
No.
What about the pollution? Is it clear? What about in Jakarta? In Jakarta sometimes it's not really clean in the day. What about in your hometown?
Yeah, it's pretty much blue skies.
What about the traffic?
No traffic compared to here. If you go on the freeway during hours, there's certain hours where traffic's bad on the freeway, but that's pretty much it. Otherwise, there's no traffic.
How often do you visit other countries in your country? You actually come from America. How often do you visit other countries in America?
The other states, I think I'm going to spend more time doing that when I get home, because my dad goes across country all the time, but not too often. The only time I really spend going anywhere outside of California is to go visit my family in Chicago, Illinois. And I've been to a couple other states, but it's not kind of like a hobby for me. When I'm at home, I just kind of stay in California.
What really makes you want to visit other countries what really makes you want to visit other countries? Other cities in your country, other countries?
I think just the fact that there's so much different culture all around. The United States, I think if you go anywhere, you're going to find something different. Most people do speak English, but they all kind of have their own twist to how they live life, and you can hear it sometimes in accents, you can see it in food, you can see it in way of life. It's different everywhere. It's really cool.
When you go to some place, do you prefer to go alone or do you prefer to go with some people?
Traveling?
Yeah.
It depends.
Usually? Most of the times?
I normally like to have someone with me, but while I've been here, I've learned that sometimes traveling by yourself can be better because
In what way is it better?
Yeah, you run into less fights, or one person wants to go to this and another person wants to do this. You guys end up having conflict, so that's kind of been interesting to deal with.
But if you go to some place with some people, who do you like to go with? Friends, family, or what? Or who?
I think family.
Family.
Yeah.
Why not friends, by the way?
Well, I love my friends,
Yeah.
but I think I really love my family, and I feel like they really love you. Your friends, they care about you and they love you too, but it's not like your family.
Do you often go with your family on holiday?
Yes and no.
Yes and no?
It depends on how much money is coming into the house.
Usually, how often you and your family go on holiday?
The last time, my dad's coming to meet me to go to New Zealand, and I think that's the next time, but it's just going to be my dad and I, not my whole family. The last time I think we did a family trip all together was to go to Chicago, and then anywhere tropical was Hawaii, and that was a really long time ago, so not that often.
What about other cities in America? Are they pretty much the same as your hometown?
No.
No. In what way are they different?
If you're talking about San Francisco, like if you go to San Francisco, it's
Have
cold.
you ever been to there?
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah, I've been to San Francisco, and I mean it's still in California. It's still a part of my state, but it's much colder than where I live. I mean, sometimes they have good weather where it's warmer, but it's windy, and where I live, it's typically standard good temperature like Indonesia, but not as humid.
What about the food in your hometown, by the way?
I miss my food from my hometown. We have really good Mexican food. I think it's the best that you'll get.
Name some of the foods that you really like.
Well, I just recently became a vegetarian, so I can't exactly eat anything with meat. But what I used to enjoy the most was a California burrito, which is carne asada with guacamole, sour cream, French fries wrapped in a burrito. And we also have, chimichanga, taquitos. There's just so many.
And what makes you sometimes want to become a vegetarian?
Well, I had recently decided to become a vegetarian because I wanted to see if it was something I could do because I had been thinking about it for a while. And I decided to try it while I was here in Indonesia because it would save me money, first of all. And second of all...
It's money then, money again.
And second of all, because I love animals and I don't want to eat them.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to learn to rid yourself from eating the people that we share this earth with. I mean, not people, but the other creatures that live on this earth that we share with them.
So being a vegetarian is a way to appreciate other animals.
Yeah.
Mean. What about the culture in your hometown? I mean, is there any culture which is rich?
Yeah, I think so.
Can you name some?
Yeah, I think we have a really, really rich surf culture. And we also have this fellowship that was started from this man named Paramahansa Yogananda. And he came from India, and he established these meditation temples. I don't know if you call them temples, but they're places you can go and practice meditation with a large group of people. And it's kind of a mix between surfing and the meditation, I would say, where I live.
What is the purpose of the combination? Do you happen to know?
Of the what?
The combination between meditation and surfing, you mean? You said before, right?
Yeah.
What's the purpose? I mean, what do people usually aim to get?
Well, it's called the Self-Realization Fellowship. So to learn about yourself, and I think with surfing, it's just fun.
Do you often do it?
Yeah, I do. I practice both. Oh, also yoga too. I think people really like doing yoga where I live.
So yoga and meditation.
Yeah.
Such an interesting conversation we're having. We will continue more after this one, so don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Hello viewers, back with us on Face to Face, the only English spoken program on BINUSTV with me Alessandro and our guest for today's episode, Tracy Mender. Now I'm about to show you a video. Maybe some of you are really curious to see what Tracy's hometown really looks like, and I'm also curious. So here's the video.
This is a documentary on the life in Encinitas.
Encinitas, California.
It's the vibe of the sound, it's the motion of the ocean, it's the beach's sunset, it's that feeling of devotion.
There's not much to say about Encinitas except an old metaphor that my friend told me. His name's Leonard, he's about 85 years old. He told me, son, you set something free and it comes back, it's yours. That's how I feel about the city of Encinitas. But how would I describe Encinitas? I guess it'd just be easier to say it, compare it as a person. Encinitas is to San Diego as Hulk Hogan is to the WWF. Because I feel like a lot of people don't really get the experience to come visit Encinitas and get to bask in its palatial glory. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity here for people in terms of getting to learn how to surf, talk to some of the most beautiful women in California, eat some of the best food we have to offer here in the United States, I would say, and just get to experience the scenery. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before.
So, I'm Ryan McDevitt. Well, I like Encinitas. We have some killer waves, bodacious babes, cool beers on the beach. Doesn't get much better than that.
I'm Zach, and today we were down at the beach, down in Encinitas, and not gonna lie, I was killing it. One of my better days out in the water. It was pretty sick.
So a little bit about today. Gosh, just bringing back some memories. Today was pretty interesting, I'd say. So we started off at the beach, laid our towels down, ended up running into these babes I knew from school. At first I could just tell that they all just wanted me from the bat. They looked at me like, what, where have you been, the tanning salon earlier today, like the past 6 days? I was looking crispy, they were all about me. Sat down, the boys went surfing. Figured I'd have a little one-on-one time with all of them. Didn't really make sense to me why they were all trying to get me, considering they were all friends. But you know, after I showed them my muscles, after I showed them how I worked the goatee, I think things were going on my side for a little bit.
Steven is a
That's it, Encinitas, Tracy's hometown. Tracy, are the people in the video are actually your friends, right?
Yeah, I know Steven, and I've known him since like high school, I think.
High school. And what's funny is that I saw Tracy laughing 2 times already. What made you laugh, by the way?
I don't know, because the whole video is pretty much kind of like a joke. Like they're just playing around, but I don't know. Him comparing San Diego to Hulk Hogan is I thought that was pretty funny.
And they're your friends. I mean, why aren't you on the video as well, telling something about your hometown?
Because I didn't really even know that they were making this video. It just kind of blew up. Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, have you seen the video that they made about Encinitas?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I watched it and I was cracking up. It's really funny.
So that's your hometown. Now, Tracy, anything you do not like from your hometown?
Well, we are really close to the border, so there is a dark side to living there. A lot of the time there's, drug problems because a lot of people sell drugs and bring them over from Mexico.
So that's what you mean by dark side?
Yeah.
People selling drugs?
Yeah. Yeah. And so you see young people doing drugs at a pretty young age. And
has there been anybody trying to overcome those problems?
Yeah, I have, unfortunately, but I have a couple friends who ended up going to rehab and doing things like that, and they're doing better. I have also lost some friends to drugs. But other than that, I mean, my friends that are doing well, they're doing a lot better, I think, and I'm proud of them for trying to get sober. And
is there any other thing you do not like?
I mean, I really don't like that side of it, but what else do I not like? I don't know. I think like if I was to compare here in Jakarta to my hometown, like the way the culture and the people here, I think everyone's really, really friendly, especially if you're a foreigner. I mean, they're willing to bend over backwards to help you. And where I come from, sometimes people are like, if you don't know my language, like, what are you doing here? You know, if you don't know how to speak English or if you don't know how to speak Spanish, then why? Like, we can't help you.
People also speak Spanish in your hometown?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Tracy, I'm not trying to be offensive, but if we ask someone from, let's say, from France, from other countries, and you ask them to choose either to live in your hometown or to live in Jakarta, what would they choose probably, most likely? I'm not trying to be offensive, by the way.
So if someone was to choose to go to
if someone were to choose to... No.
Jakarta
You ask
or
someone
my hometown?
from any place, from any country, if they had to choose to live either in your hometown or in Jakarta, what would they choose probably?
I think my hometown.
Oh, your hometown?
Because I love it.
Now, what about the best thing? What's the best thing about your hometown?
The best thing? Well, I mean, on the other side, there are really great people who live there, and they really care about the community and making a difference and living a healthy life. And I'm talking about healthy and mental, spiritual, and physical. I mean, everyone's trying their best to become their best, and I think that's something very admirable about where I live.
If you were the president of America, what would you like to change?
Well, coming from where I live, we've done a number of studies, and I actually was taking a class with one of my teachers, and she went down and researched the border, and we have this really ugly wall that's put up between Mexico.
Ugly wall?
Yeah, it's ugly. It's a huge wall that separates the two countries, and I would like to get rid of that.
And what makes it ugly, by the way?
It's just like
the appearance.
Yeah, the appearance. It's
how old
broken down.
has it been?
As long as I can remember, it's been there.
Now, how do you see yourself, or not yourself actually, how do you see your hometown growing in the next 20 years?
I think it's going to
Is it
get
gonna
more
change a
crowded.
lot?
Yeah. People really love it there, and a lot of people move to where I live because it's really perfect. It's considered one of the most perfect places in the world. And I think it's going to get really a lot more crowded. I mean, they built a Walmart just recently, like on one of our main streets, and a lot of people were kind of mad about it. Walmart's kind of like Carrefour, by the way.
And what about the people? Is there anyone famous coming from your hometown?
Oh yes, lots of people.
Who are they?
I ran into Steve-O from Jackass out in the water one day, and I also have Bill Murray's kids. Their kids went to my school, my elementary school.
Now, are you happy about the fact that you were born in your hometown, or you wish to have been born in other countries?
No, I'm happy I was born there. But I mean, with these questions, they change every day. I think sometimes when I'm home, I get bored. And
You get bored?
yeah, I wish I was traveling, and I'm like, oh, should I just go down to the airport and like just see what kind of flights they have available for cheap? But I think I'm really blessed to be born where I was.
Have you found any way to get rid of your feeling bored?
Yeah, with surfing, yoga,
Surfing,
meditation.
How often, by the way, do you do meditation?
I try to go at least once a week.
Once a week.
When I'm at home, yes.
Honestly speaking, I cannot really differentiate between yoga and meditation. Could you tell us probably?
Okay. So for yoga, it's more physical. You're using your
physical.
body and concentrating on how you feel and breathing techniques. Like, it's about bringing yourself into your own self again. You know, a lot of the time we're distracted. Our minds are in many different places. We're thinking about different things. We're not really in the moment. And so yoga does that through breath and motion, and meditation does that through sitting and breathing. So focusing on why are those thoughts coming into your mind and where are they coming from and why do you feel that certain ways about those feelings and thoughts.
Are both of them merely about concentration?
Yes and no. It's not really only about concentration though, it's just about learning to come into your own self again, you know, feeling where you're at and what's going on inside of you, you know. You are your own universe, you know.
So how long have you been doing it, meditation?
I actually have really started focusing on meditation in the past year. I did yoga for 6 years though before that, and then I got introduced into meditation after and
Who
really loved
introduced
it.
you?
Well, I started taking up a career as a caregiver, and he introduced me to meditation, and then I made friends with my coworkers, and they actually took me to the Self-Realization Fellowship, and I started doing it
It's
there.
really nice, I think, to learn yoga. Maybe one day you can teach me how to do yoga.
Yeah.
Perfectly, because I really want to live. I think it's really nice when we can live our life with full awareness of this life, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, Tracy, could you tell us some information or maybe facts that you think we are not aware of about your hometown?
I mean, there's a lot.
Just tell us as much as you can. We have quite much time here.
I guess you could look at my hometown and think it's mostly fun and games. I come to Indonesia and I go to places like, you know, Lombok or Gili Islands, and I say, oh wow, this is dream life. Like I want to stay here forever and just celebrate every day and be on the beach and hang out. But there's also the reality that, you know, you go to those places and you start to get used to a routine and a habit, and I think that's where we get bored, you know. But I think it's really important to know that you're lucky to be where you are, and you should feel happy and blessed no matter what you have and where you're at in your life. I think that's really important.
And yeah, you actually like traveling, right? And could you tell us some places or maybe countries that you would like to visit one day in your future, maybe after working hard and have saved a lot of money, because money is the issue, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes it's money, sometimes it's responsibilities, but there's so many places. I want to go everywhere. But I think once I'm home, I want to go to Jamaica. I want to go to South America, Central America, and then hopefully if I can make my way back over here, go to Australia and travel through Micronesia and everywhere. Oh, and in Europe, I want to go to Italy and I want to go to Greece really badly.
Italy. What do you want to see in Italy?
I want to try food. And I don't know, just the culture. I think it's very unique.
What about Greece?
Greece, the same thing.
The same thing.
I've seen amazing photos and I've heard amazing stories. I actually just met someone from Greece while I was here, and he said he ate goat brains, which is like normal for them.
Okay, we'll talk more about hometown after this break. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Hello viewers, back with us on Face to Face, your favorite talk show on BINUSTV with me, Alessandro, and our guest for today's episode, Tracy Mender. Now, Tracy, what semester are you now in?
Well, it's different for me, but I'm in my 4th year.
And when your graduation arrives, do you wish to live in your country, in your hometown, or in other countries?
I think I will be living in my hometown, but I want to travel, like do working abroad.
What really makes you want to stay in your hometown? I mean, for some people, when they are successful, they would like to go out in other countries. They would like to explore more things, and they feel really bored to get back to their hometown. But what really makes you want to stay in your hometown?
Well, actually had met someone in my travels here, and he kind of had mentioned how we actually have a bay where a lot of yachts, they go off and go down to South America and actually go even across to Australia. So I was thinking about maybe trying to get a job there, doing that.
And now, what about the job? You haven't told us what kind of job you would like to have in the future.
Well, recently I've been thinking a lot about journalism.
Journalism?
Because I'm in journalism courses, and I think a lot of the media nowadays has been portraying somewhat of the wrong idea, and I'm learning how to become less opinionated in statements about facts, and I think I'd be good at that.
But if you really want to be successful in what you're gonna do in the future, I mean, whatever job it is, I think you really need to go to other places, right? I mean, you told me that, yeah, Encinitas is Encinitas, and there are so many countries that can allow you to be much better.
Yeah.
What do you think then?
Well, like I had said, I think if I can catch a career in other countries such as South America or Central America and work there for a year and then figure out what I want to do from there. I'm not really sure where I'm going to go after this, but I just plan on trying to get as much experience out of this life as I can and live it to its fullest.
So one of your purpose of life is to find as many experiences as possible.
Yeah.
What kind of experiences? Can you specify it somehow?
I don't know, the kind that you are able to come home and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. Like, that was crazy. I had one experience where I was trying to bring peanut butter back from Singapore, and I had to stuff it in a little jar in the airport. And I was sitting there eating peanut butter in my terminal, which was interesting.
And looking at you we've talked a lot about your hometown, and you seem to be really happy about your hometown. And actually, we have a video to show. Here's the video about Tracy's hometown. Now, Tracy, that's your hometown. Tell us one of the best, or maybe one of the happiest experiences you have ever had in your hometown.
The happiest experiences I've ever had.
Probably with your family, your friends.
Yeah,
You play with your friends in the lake, in the beach.
I think any of them are good
You
experiences.
were forced to swim. And you couldn't swim, and you end up asking for help, or what?
I think just being able to spend time with my family in general have been some of my most cherished memories. I mean, watching these videos make me feel so homesick. I want to go home.
That's what I'm trying to do. I want to make you feel like you really want to go home.
Yeah.
And I suddenly miss my hometown as well. Now, what about the bad experience, the pathetic, the sad experience you have ever had in your hometown?
I don't know. I think anytime my family's been sick, there was one experience where my mom was really sick, and I was the only member of my family who was there because my dad and my brother were on the road in other states, so they were nowhere near California. So I had to be in the hospital with her.
But your mom is okay now,
Yes.
isn't he?
Yes.
Isn't he? Okay. So now you live in Jakarta for a particular period of time. How often do you miss your hometown, Tracy? Every day, every month, every week, or every hour?
I think there's a part of me that misses home, at least like once a week or every day. Yeah, I really I talk to my mom every day, so I'm always reminded.
Video call or phone or what?
We just email.
Or email. You really miss your hometown, and what really makes you miss your hometown?
My friends and my family. Yeah.
Really nice then. I think that's all for today's episode.
All right.
Tracy, thank you very much for coming to Face to Face. We have reached the end of our show. Thank you, Journalism Club. Thank you, BINUSTV. Thank you, Karen Carter for makeup. My name is Asandro. I think hometown is not the place where you stay, but the place where it understands you. My name is Asandro. Thank you.